Hello, family. How are you? I am back once again. I'm Helen Sattler, your destiny helper. Thank you so very much for the new subscribers. Thank you so much for emailing me. I enjoy reading the emails. I am so glad that this program is helping you, and I really am grateful for the value that you all give to this program. Thank you for sharing with the program with others. Thank you for viewing the program. Thank you for going back to the replay. Some of you are saying that you're seeing the programs over and over again. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell others about the program. Help others get their relief and their help. Some people don't know what they're dealing with. They have your testament and you have become their destiny helper. But I wanted to let you know that I appreciate you so much, and your time and your comments are invaluable. And I wanted to address the question of the day. And the question of the day is, why do I see my mind keep turning over and over and over the things that the narcissist has said to me, things that they've done to me? I'm replaying, I'm dreaming, I'm daydreaming, I'm visioning, and I've been at no contact for 9 months. Okay, let's talk about it. When you make a no contact, it starts your healing. It starts your wholeness. And what you will find is you are having to reprogram your mind. We call this programming codes, because when the narcissist release words, every word that is released in your mind is a code. And that code, the more it's spoken to you, the more you are coded. And you are coded so much until you go on automatic pilot. The narcissist no longer have to be with you. You've been with them so long until now you do automatically what they say. Your brain is coded until your brain activates systemically the words they've spoken to you. So it is now a system operation. And when you leave the narcissist, the longer you stay away, the fog begin to leave, the cloud lift, the confusion lift. And as you stay in NC, which is no contact, you'll notice the heartache start to go, the wounds start to close, and the leaking of the emotions stop, and you start to recuperate. But you have to stay no contact. If you allow a Hoover to come in and intervene on your NC, you will find that the cycle start all over again. Now, the thing about the cycle is the older you get, the more overflow can get to your family, your children, because you have a narcissistic magnet that has not been demagnetized. So you'll start drawing the same thing, and then your kids are attached to you. They will start drawing the same thing, and you hate for them to go through what you've been through, because you know what that means. But they don't have any other magnet, they don't have any other frequency, they don't have any other wavelength. And so they draw what they're familiar with. They draw what they're accustomed to. They draw what they're comfortable to. And believe it or not, some people have grown accustomed to pain, that if they get a relationship that is pain-free, they think something is wrong with their relationship because of narcissistic codes. And you got to remember, the narcissist will train you and code you, and what they code you to do, they will not do themselves. They will keep themselves free. And they have two standards. They have a standard for you and a standard for them. What they insist you do, they will not do. They insist on your faithfulness. They will triangulate. They are not faithful. They will insist on you telling the truth. And they're lying from the moment they open their mouth. They insist on you giving them attention, and they ignore you, neglect you. And it doesn't matter how the narcissist feel in the moment of perfection. The moment of perfection is doing the love bombing. The love bombing stays before your humanity come. To the narcissist, you can do no evil. I mean, you can look like a hound dog with long hair, blonde hair, and their teeth hanging and dragging the ground. To the narcissist, you are perfect, because there's nothing wrong that you've done. Everything about you is perfect. A narcissist, except the somatic, can look beyond your looks, because they're looking for fuel. It's not the looks. That's why some narcissists, you can look terrible. I mean, you look like you just coming out of the grave, but to them they smell life. To them they smell fuel, and you give them praise, consistent praise, and they love that praise. They love when you almost worship them. And I mean, they're there in the love bombing, and then you're perfect. They won't let anybody talk about you. They won't let anybody disturb what they have with you. They will fight their wife over you. They will fight friends and family over you in the love bombing stage. You have the narcissist protection, and the narcissist will tell you, I'm here to shield you. I'm here to protect you. They buy you gifts. And I mean, they will take you to places that are mind blowing in the love bombing stage, because that is the time where they feel love. That's the only time where they can feel love. And it's not exemplifying or coming from them. It's coming from you. And they are getting the absorption from you. They are absorbing what love feel like. They are absorbing the attention you giving them, the time, the praise, and how much attention and time you're giving them, and what you're willing to let go and what you're willing to compromise. And then as the love bombing goes on, they throw little perks out there to see how much pain you can handle, because the narcissists know if they're going to have a long-term relationship, they need someone that is familiar with pain and knows pain and that can handle pain, because once the mask come off, you're going to run like Forrest Gump. And they don't want you to go anywhere, because the narcissists like to shelf, the narcissists like to hold back, and they gaslight and they devaluate. When you do a discard, usually the narcissist is not a final discard. They will come back. They will be back. When the narcissist is looking for fuel in their mind, that's when the remembrance kick in. They go back to places where they got fuel, and they remember how you made them feel. And every person they were with made them feel a little bit different. So where the narcissist emotions is currently located, they put a person with that emotion, and they want to pour that emotion. Some people are very fiery, so they make them feel fiery. And some people are freakish, they make them feel freakish. Some people are business minded, they make them feel very lucrative in business, very intelligent. Some people are just happy-go-lucky. They want to be free of stress, because narcissists get stressed out. And the thing about narcissists, they take everything in, they absorb, because they are used to mirroring what they want, and they are used to absorbing their energy drainer. So they've learned to take and take and take. And when people take, that's that sponge that absorb everything. So that's what happened with stress. That's what happened with everything they do. So when they get stressed out, they absorb that stress. When they get angry, they absorb that anger. And sometimes they go through blackout zone, especially the lower mid narcissist blackout zone. Then you got the mid narcissists, the upper mid narcissists, which get into the realm of intelligence, and they may be a semantic. And then a lot of times they use pity. They make sure that you know their story. And then you got the greater narcissist, who is the master deceiver, the master schemer, and they are untouched by a lot of things, and they got a whole network that's willing to work for them, willing to leave family, willing to lie, willing to lay their life down, because a greater narcissist is always cerebrals. They are thinkers. They have learned from the lower rank to the upper rank, and they've been involved with so many relationships, and they have mirrored so much until the whole mirroring perspective has taken on the entity of its own, a character of its own, and they can mirror out what they have absorbed in a character, a whole person. So they, like a computer, keep pulling this information up with a question you ask. And if that information is in that computer, based on the information that's in the computer, that's how much information you can pull up. That's the narcissist. They're pulling up all this information, and you are coded, and you are saying that, but I am involuntarily releasing. I am involuntarily giving. And I find myself that I'm walking around guilty, because they telling me you don't love me enough. You're not showing me enough attention, and you are totally drained because you're giving them everything. Some of you have neglected your children. You've not spent time with your children because you wanted to make sure that the narcissist was taken care of. The narcissists eat first, the children eat last. The narcissists get it first. The children may suffer because you are involuntarily responding to codes that has been downloaded, codes that have been fixated, codes that have been stimulated and established in your mind. Established codes seek to become part of your character, part of your personality, until that's the way you're now acting. And when you stay with the narcissist, some about your eyes, you start losing life, and people start seeing this dull, faraway look in your eyes, like you're just detached from the world, because a state of confusion, a state of slumber has come over you. And even though you're awake, even though you're talking, you are in a state of slumber. And when the narcissist call that cold ignite, it's like a spirit of witchcraft, that when someone calls you, it ignites. And when it ignites, it pulls you to that cold. No matter where you are, you can be with your family in another state, and this narcissist seems to just speak that word, cold your mind, and you find yourself responding. Now you can't even enjoy the trip, because now you are thinking of the narcissist. You want to be with the narcissist. You got to call the narcissist. You got to check in with the narcissist. You got to give to the narcissist. When you spend money, they all of a sudden got a need, and now you got to send money to the narcissist. It's just a code. And you're coded. Unless you break out of that code, that will become your life, till you are totally drained of energy. You're totally drained of creativity. You're totally drained of and you now have redefined what love is. Love is torture. Love is pain. Love is wounded. And the longer you stay in there, you start looking for the code system. Even when the narcissist discarded you and you have been alone for a while, and you feel like, I want somebody to love, I want somebody to care for, and then you want to care for somebody. But what happened is, when you start to care for somebody, that code kick in, and you start becoming what the narcissist has trained you to be with this relationship. And if this relationship is narcissistic, they pick up the elements of what the narcissist done, because every narcissist know that any relationship with a narcissist train you for the next narcissist, it sensitize you for the next narcissist, and more than likely you're going to draw another narcissist. You're going to magnetize another narcissist, which means they feel like they can cheat. They feel like they can do anything they want to you, and you will accept it, because narcissistic relationship masters intolerance, master in acceptance. And so when you allow them to master in acceptance or tolerance, they keep doing what they do. And when they can't do it, they're like a spoiled child. They want to leave. They want to run. They want to have their way. Because what a narcissist wants, the narcissist feel like, I should be able to get it. And they feel like there shouldn't be any options. And when you try to hinder what they want, whether it's good for them or not, because to them, everything they want is good for them. It's not good for you to deny them. And they feel like you should be dealt with. So maximum pain is coded for every time you get in the way. And now your brain know that I have to subject myself to what the narcissist want, because if I don't, he's going to punish me. If I don't, she's going to punish me. If I don't, she's going to leave. If I don't, he's going to leave. He's going to triangulate. She's going to triangulate. And when they stay away, you know what they're doing. And they come back, and you just want them so bad, because you are addicted to their relationship. You are addicted to that pain. You're addicted to the treacheries, the lies. You're addicted to it. You know better. And when people come try to talk to you, you fight for the wrong, because you keep thinking they're going to change. One more week and they'll change. One more month and they'll change. One more prayer, they'll change. One more church service, they'll change. One more dinner, one more sexual escapade. And then you start giving them what they want. The moment the narcissists get what they want, devaluation has already started. And it increased, because believe it or not, even though the narcissists want you to do everything they want you to do, they hate the weakness of you succumbing to their requests. So they torture you for being weak. You got to remember what they feel on the inside. They feel empty. They feel weak on the inside. That's why they're going after different aspects of love. They keep trying to get somebody to love them, because they can't love. They don't want to love. They on a shutdown vow. And unless you have love, how are you going to survive in this world? It's very difficult. So narcissists have difficulty in the world, even though they got a host and an entourage around them. They are still lonely. And some of you that are not narcissists know what that's like, to be in a crowd and to be alone. Well, that's the narcissist. They're in a crowd, but they're lonely. They're in a crowd, but they are alone. Being alone and being lonely is two different things, because you can be alone and whole, but being lonely, you are not whole, because loneliness means that there's something missing that you don't have. Being alone is a choice, because I may make a choice that I need to be alone so I can think, so I can consider. I may need to be alone so I can get my creativity back in order. But when you are loneliness, that is a pulling element. You start searching for a fixation. You want to be fixed. You want a drug. You want that feel. And then what is happening is the loneliness of the narcissist now is penetrating, because once the narcissist got a spawn, they start squeezing out their character, squeezing out their loneliness, squeezing out the deprivations that are in their life. And you start taking on their deprivation, and they start taking on your wholeness. They take on your wholeness, because that wholeness is going to go with them to the next relationship. And what that next relationship is getting you plus all of the other characters that the relationship has. So the narcissist seem like they are so equipped. That's why when you got them, they seem like the perfect guy, the most beautiful girl with the characteristics you want. All of that is the lives of other people that they've been with, that is exemplifying through them. So let me tell you something. Not only you get coded, but the narcissist come coded. He come coded, she come coded with everything that they've been through, all the people that they've had, all the conversations that they had, all the mishap. So when they have a mishap, what caused that mask to fall off, they're careful with the next relationship that the mask don't fall off. So in the love bombing, some love bombing can be 3 months, some love bombing can be 6 months, because they know that more extensive the love bombing, the more extensive the relationship. If I love bomb you for 4 months, and I mean I get down to your root, that 4 months can last 25 years, and then you finally get dropped by through discard, and you're trying to get out of 25 years, and now it's been 10 years, and you still got a link, you still got the navel cord to that narcissist. When you make up in your mind that you want to go NC, you have to do that. You have to avoid every Hoover. You have to avoid every text. When your heart said call them, when your heart said look on their line, don't look online, because the more you go after them, the more the heart is drawn to them. And if you've already been coded, those codes start to unlock. Boom, 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 boom. Those doors start to unlock, and every door has an emotion with it, and you walk in that door of fear. Every door being lonely, every door pain, every door torment, every door betrayal. All those doors start to lock again, and you find yourself through a recycling program where you have familiarity, and you start saying, I've been here before. Yes, you have, 1,000 times, and each time it gets worse. And so you have to make up in your mind that when you go NC and it's not North Carolina, that I am not coming back. No way, no how, forget it. Don't call, don't think, don't dream, don't have a vision. I'm not coming back, Jack. It takes one time for me and I'm out of it. I'm in the woods where I can enjoy nature. I'm in the sunlight where I can see. I will not be in the dark. So you can call, you can text, you can do whatever it takes. And that's why you have to get your heart demagnetized from that relationship, and it takes time to get them out. Once you get them out, I promise you, you will not go back. You will not want to go back. And the beauty then that you saw in the narcissist, when you see them again, you were like, what was I thinking? I must have been out of my crazy mind. And you're thinking, what was I thinking? You wasn't. You were feeling them. They tapped into your emotion, and the emotion said, oh, this is so right. And their touch, their hug, their words, they get you with words. Words are their codes. You know a narcissist. Can you imagine a narcissist pulling you with sign language? Those are words. Anytime they sign, those are words, because it's going to translate into a message in your mind. And it's as long as you understand the message, the brain start to formulate pictures and images and emotions and attachments and detachment. You can detach a person from their family, the narcissist does, from their friend, and then they pull in the attachment that they become your everything. And the more time you spend with them, the more ultimate they become. And that's why many of you in churches, you no longer go to the churches, you no longer go to the temple, you no longer go to wherever you go, because the narcissist has become the ultimate. They the ultimate in everything to you. They are. And you can't see yourself without them. You can't feel yourself without them. The narcissist is not with you through the day, but you can feel them. You feel them on you. As you lay in the bed, you feel them. As you go about your day, you feel them. All their emotion is on you, and you are attached. That's a soul tie. And what happens with a soul tie? They tie that soul together and they tie it in a knot. You are knotted with the narcissist. You got to get the knot out of your soul. It just don't untie. You have to untie it through mechanism that you do during the day, and you have to do it every day. Your relationship with the narcissist was every day. Your conversation was every day. Your night you spent time with them, you went out with them. What did you do? You spoke words. Those were codes. You didn't know that was a coding mechanism. You didn't know that you was getting combinations of from the narcissist, and one day he was going to have the combination to your lock, and he was going to lock it, and he was going to put the combination on, and every time he speak a combination word, that it opens that lock, and that lock is your life, that lock is your mind, that lock is your will, that lock is your emotion, that lock is your family, it is your finance, it is your business. Most of you have even lost your business behind the narcissist. You came and you had hundreds of thousands of dollars. You came, you had millions of dollars. That's not the case anymore. You find yourself coded, miserable, and it's like sitting in a damp room that is cold and that is ice, and you are shivering. Your emotions are shivering on the inside because they have been battered. They have been abused. But when that cold come, when a drug addict, they look horrible. They're on meth. Their teeth are rotten. Their hair done fell out. They're 26 years old. They look like they're 69 years old, because now you got to look at people that are 60. 60 don't look bad. 60 is the new 30. Come on here. So they look about 90. All right. They look 90 years old, and they're 26, 27 years old. Their mind is depleted. They're walking around in circles. They lost everything. Life is just another fix. It's not even, they're just existing. It's not even a life that is satisfying. And no matter how they hurt and how they grieve, and they're crying when the meth wear off, and they're crying and they're picking their skin, and they're out of their mind. They're in the elements because they got put out their house. They don't lost their family. They don't lost their children. But when somebody fire up a pipe, poof, here they go again, and they smoking. They are smoking. They are vaporing. They're doing everything they can do to keep that high. That's the way it is when you're coded. When you code it, it doesn't matter how much trauma. It doesn't matter how much misery. It doesn't matter how much pain. All they do is fire up that code. Boosh, and there you go, running again. And when it's over, you're looking at yourself in the mirror. I can see some of you standing in the mirror looking at yourself saying, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I've never done this. Some people have never been in a narcissistic relationship. A narcissistic relationship is not your regular relationship. Stop comparing it to any other relationship. People don't act like the narcissist. That is abnormal. They have no feelings. They have no compassion. They could care less. They can leave at a moment and not think about you forever. And you've been with them for 30 years. It doesn't matter. 60 years. It doesn't matter. You've been with them for 70 years. They can pick up in one day and leave 70 years behind with foolishness and illegitimacy and their excuse for why they left. They don't care. Being with a narcissist long term is still a narcissist that you're with, and he still got all the attributes of a narcissist. They don't care. They're going to triangulate, and when a narcissist get where he can't do his escapade, He's going to get where he wants that few of grandiosity. He wants somebody to praise him. He wants somebody to build him. He will do anything. She will do anything to keep that fuel going, even when they're old. Can you imagine a person that is 80, 90 years old go out with a halter top, they're wrinkled everywhere in shorts, and they got on heels, and they're walking heels, and their heels are sideways. They don't care. A narcissist never see the truth about themselves. They always see what they want to see, and they see themselves better. They see themselves as God. They see themselves that you should be privileged. They see themselves that you need to thank God that I even stopped by your house, that I even want you. You need to praise God that you even have me, because I'm one of a kind. I am your ultimate. You'll never get anyone else like me, which is true, because you'll never go through the hell that you're going through with anyone else but another narcissist. And a narcissist feel like they are the answer to your life. Watch the coding system. Watch the coding system when the narcissists want to code you. And remember, their standard is always different. They always require what they will never do. But you have to. And they won't stop screaming. They won't stop devaluating. They won't stop gaslighting. They won't stop word salad. They won't stop lying. They won't stop being devious. Coding you help strengthen them. You have to overthrow the codes. You have to change the codes through demagnetism. That means you have to build your mind, because everything you're going through is because of your mind. Your mind is yielding your emotions, yielding your will, and yielding your thoughts. And what you constantly think about, you bring an attachment to. And whatever you attach to, it can become an attraction. And whatever's an attraction becomes a desire. You deepen the desire, it becomes a craving. You deepen the craving, it's a necessary need. You can't see yourself being without that. You can't. So the narcissists always have you in a position of weakness. And you're always there to serve. They go away from weeks, they come back home. And you are there. They cheat, but you cannot. They lie, but you cannot. Whatever they do, you cannot. So think about it. The narcissists have a double standard. They code your brain. Break the code. It's like breaking a jailbreaking a phone, or jailbreaking an iPad or a computer, going through the back door, hacking the computer. You change everything. The password no longer work. The system no longer work originally. You get into a working system, a working network, and you pull in illegal means to overthrow the original false default. And once you overthrow the original default, you now set the default. And that is the brainwashing. The narcissist is an expert at brainwashing, because they are expert coders and they're expert decoder. They decode all the good, they decode all the righteousness, they decode everything you have for yourself, and they bring in their code, and you start finding yourself working for them, working with them, working under them, going to them, because your default system has changed. And once they change the default system, it changed the whole operation of the computer. It's just like you get an upgrade, the whole phone changed with the upgrade. And some of you don't like the upgrade. You said, I'd rather have it the old way. Well, once you upgrade, you will never get the old way. You can never go back to the old way unless you get a phone with the old way. And after a while, that phone starts suffering for a lack of upgrade. So you have to upgrade your mind, because you can get caught with the attraction of the narcissist, the bait of the narcissist. But if you upgrade your mind, you will upgrade your discernment, you will upgrade your keenness, you'll upgrade your awareness, where you are aware even when your something's in your spirit but it's not in your eye gate. You will go with your spirit, because you've upgraded your relationship with God, where you can hear, and God is saying, nah, that's good looking, it smells good, but that is hell on legs. And you do not want that. So what do you do to decode? You have to send in another code. You have to deactivate that code. You deactivate that code of life by every day, like you did with the relationship, to become coded. Is doing something with your mind, upgrading your mind, strengthening your mind, reading powerful things, seeing powerful things, being around powerful people, saying, change the way you speak by changing the way you think. When you think different, you speak different. When you speak different, you get a different manifestation, because you can have whatsoever you say it. So say something different. Stop saying and complain about the narcissist. You are staying there. If you have children, then you got to be strategic in how you come out of it. You have to be strategic in how you allow your mind to synthesize the whole system of relationship, because the truth of it is they're not going to change for the best, because they do change. When people say narcissists cannot change, narcissists change all the time with every person they with. They change. They do not stay the same. That's why every narcissist is not the same. Every narcissist do the same pattern, but they come with different characters. They come with a different catch. So think about it. If you know that you're coded, take the time to decode, because it's work. It's work every day. You slid into that relationship and you stood the pain. But now you got to work out of that pain, work away from that pain, work away from the narcissist. You've been through so much. You don't even see the narcissist as the same, and yet you find it very difficult to leave when all of your desires and whatever they used to be to you, they're no longer that. But you still are coded and find it very difficult in leaving. Well, I hope this message was a blessing to you, and I pray that you decode and demagnetize, because you are awesome. That's what drew them to you. You are so awesome. That's why they wanted you. But now you've given yourself away. Get yourself back. Build your life. One decision, one choice. Make the decision and stick with it. Surround yourself with powerful people. Go on my videos, get videos, more videos. Go on Dr. Carmen Bryan videos, get more videos, read them, hear them, see them, listen to them. Lay down for an hour and put these videos in your ear and just play them. And get up, and when you can be alone and the narcissist is not there, play them. Do it every day you can do it. You're going to find yourself getting stronger, massively stronger. You're going to find yourself invigorated. You're going to find yourself energetic. You're going to find yourself powerful. All the weakness will succumb. All the weakness will bow. All the weakness will become limitation within itself. And you will find your wings stretching, and you will start lifting yourself out of obscurity. You will find yourself in the air of life, in the air of freedom, in the air of success, in the air of sanctioning your liberty. And you will fly and look down on your past and look down on your relationship and cause your family to escape, because you will recognize your best years are ahead, and someone is there to love you. Oh my God, to love you in ways you didn't even know you could be loved like that. And they will love you, and then your everyday will be as beautiful as the sun in the sky. It will give you heat. It will start killing off parasites in your relationship, and it will rise and fall in a timely manner, because you are great and you are awesome and you are wonderful. Reintroduce yourself to the new you and decode. There's another code, and it's powerful, and it's waiting for you to choose it as an option. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Push the bell, and every time I come on, you will get a notification. Please like and share the page. It is so wonderful being with you. And please go back to replay. Play this over and over until your freedom come. And watch the wings spread and the height come, and you're riding with the current of success. I'm Helen Sattler, your destiny helper.